Hello everyone. Hello, hello. Hi, hi. Hello. Hey everyone, welcome back to the live session. Yeah. Hello guys. Okay, so let's start the class. So, today we are going to see tuples, okay? Hi, hi, hi. Okay guys, let's start the session, okay? So today we are going to focus on tuples, which are also one of the data structure in Python, which is also one of the four built-in data structures of Python. So we have seen lists, list comprehension, higher order functions, how to use the higher order functions with list in our previous live sessions. Now, today we'll be focusing on tuple. Now, tuple in Python is an ordered, immutable collection of elements. Okay. And it can store items of different data types. So let me just create a notes that tuples in Python are ordered in nature And once again, ordered with order, it means that indexing is present. Then immutable. Immutable in nature, it means that we cannot modify it once a tuple is created. Okay, we cannot change the elements, we cannot modify the elements, we cannot add elements, okay, and we cannot remove element. So it is immutable collection of elements. Then it can also store items of different data types, such as integers, strings, floats, or even other collections, like it can store list also, okay, and a tuple also. So it means it is also heterogeneous in nature. Heterogeneous means mixture, okay. So heterogeneous means here mixture of different data types. And one more is that in tuples also, because it is ordered in nature, so duplicates are allowed. So it allows duplicates. Okay, so duplicate elements. It allows duplicate elements. Okay, now let's just see a small example that how we can create a tuple in Python. Okay, and one more thing, before going to the example part, I'll just add it that indexing starts at 0. Okay, so indexing starts at 0. And last thing about tuples are, okay, that most of the people don't know, okay, which is that it supports nesting, okay, and can be used as dictionary keys if they contain only immutable types, okay. So this is also one thing that it supports nesting, and then it can be used as dictionary keys. Yeah, yes. So dictionary, as we know that it is a key value pair. So tuples, we can give tuples as dictionaries keys because dictionaries keys are also immutable in nature. Okay, and tuples are also immutable in nature. Once created, cannot be modified. So because of that, tuples can be used as dictionaries keys also. Okay. Now let's see how we can create a tuple. Okay, so first of all, I'll show you that how we can create an empty tuple. So for creating an empty tuple, you have to just give the object name and assign to an round braces. Okay, so you will start a round brace, you will call close the round brace, and that's all. So easily you will be creating a empty tuple. If you want to check the type, you can use the type function to check the type, and you will see that it is a class tuple, means this object empty which we have created, it is of class tuple. Okay, so it's showing the type. Now let's just create a tuple with elements in it. Okay, so let's store 1 2 3. So now you can see 1 2 3, and it is also of class tuple. Now what we'll do, we'll create a tuple but without using the parenthesis. So let's create T2 equals to 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so it is also of type tuple. Let's check the type. Okay, so it is of class tuple only. Now, why we have not given the parenthesis, but then also it is an tuple only because it is working due to the comma. Okay, because of the comma, it's by default taking it as a tuple only. Okay, yeah, that's the thing. By default, it will take it as a tuple only because we know that we can assign one variable, means one variable to one value only. So if we are taking multiple values by separating the values with comma, so by default it is going to take it as a tuple only. Okay, so that's why when you are creating T2 and assigning 1, 2, 3, okay, and we are separating 1, 2, 3 with commas, so when we are printing T2 and printing the type of T2, so we are getting a tuple. Okay, so I hope this is also clear. Now, next thing which we'll see that how we can create a single element tuple. Okay, so let's take a T3. Let's give 5 and comma. Okay, so let's print T3 and let's print the type of T3. So now as you can see 5 and it is also class tuple. Now you guys can say or ask a question that why 5 comma, okay, why not only 5? Okay, so let's do what, let's just keep it only 5 without comma. Okay, and let's check it. Now if you will not give comma there, so now as you can see the output, the difference in the output, 5 is getting printed but without the parenthesis, and then the type also, it is a integer. So T4 is a object of integer class. Okay, it is not a object of tuple class. So that is the difference. So if you have to create a tuple with only single element, so you have to write the element and then you have to give a comma also. Okay, remember this thing. Okay, I'll just write it like incorrect so people will not get confused. Okay, let's move to the next topic, that is accessing tuple elements. So I'll create a tuple or tuple, both you can say. Okay, it depends on the accent that what you are saying. So 10, 20, 30, 40. We have created a tuple T. Now we'll see that how we'll access the elements in our tuple. Okay, so print, then see, tuples are also, as in the definition we have seen that they are also ordered. Indexing is present, and by default indexing starts from 0. So first element will be present at 0 and the last element will be present at -1. So same concept which we have followed in list of accessing elements using index value, using positions, same will be followed here also because it is also an ordered data structure, okay, in Python. So yeah, so if we want to print the first element, so 0, so you will get 10. If we want to print the last element, so -1. If we want to print or some middle value, let's say 20, so 0. and 1. So you'll write 1. Okay, so 20 will be there. Now, if you want to slice, suppose if you want multiple elements, now you want 20 and 30 both. So then you can perform slicing. Okay, so let's do what? Let's keep slicing in the next slide. So let's say from the same tuple, you want to print 20 and 30 both. So what you'll do, starting from 1, going till 2, so you'll write 3 and you will get 20 and 30 both. Okay. Now, what we have studied for slicing the elements in list, all the things will be applied in tuple also. Everything is same, means negative indexing. Okay, everything. So let's take an example and then slice the elements using range of negative indexes. Okay, so yeah, so for that I'll need a sample tuple. So I'll just take a sample tuple as this tuple and I'll store some items in it. Okay, then I'll put some kiwi in it. Let's put some melons. Yeah, so now our tuple is created. Now what we'll do, let's slice it. Okay, so for slicing, what we'll do, first we'll write the tuple name, this tuple, square braces. Okay, now we want to print from, okay, from oranges to uh melon. Okay, so what will be the code? -4 colon. Okay, why -4? Because mango is at -1, -2, -3 and -4. So -4 colon and till melons we have to print. So we'll write -1. So when we'll write -1, so it will be excluded. Okay, mango will be excluded. So then you will get till melons. Now, what if we want till mango? When suppose you want till mango, so what you can do, just leave it like this. Because if you will write -1, so -1 is right, it is for mango only, but the ending part is excluded. Okay, so because of that it will be not counted, so it will take till only melons. So if you want to print till mangoes, so again the same concept as list, what you have to do, you have to just leave it blank, so then you will get till mango. Okay, so I hope this is clear. So this was negative indexing. Okay, so we have seen negative accessing also, we have seen negative range of indexes also, how you can do. So yeah, you can follow up all the previous list examples. Okay, and you can go ahead. Okay, yeah, so till now everyone, please tell me, till now everything is understood, means you guys are getting everything about tuple, no confusion? Do let me know in the chat by saying yes and no. If understood, then yes. If not, then no. So we can just If no, then we can just go around and just do a quick revision, and then we can see the next set of tuples, okay, in which we are going to perform some operations, okay. So yeah, please let me know in the chat. Okay. Okay, one has said yes. So I'm assuming that everyone have understood till this because it is very easy also. Okay, so people will be, yeah, it is very easy also. So what we can do now, let's move to our next set that will be based on change tuple values. Okay, now when I'm saying change tuple values, so now people will say that once a tuple is created, you cannot change its values. Tuple are unchangeable or immutable. Okay, so what do you mean by change tuple values? Okay, see, we cannot change it. Yes, I agreed that we cannot change it. Once a tuple is created, it is unchangeable, it is immutable in nature, but there is always a workaround, okay, a second way. So that second way with tuples are that if you have a tuple with us, suppose, uh, let me just take a simple tuple. Okay, we have a simple tuple X in which we have stored three items: apple, banana, and cherry. Okay, now I have to change banana with kiwi. Okay, I have to change banana with kiwi. So remember when we are seeing lists, what I have said, that there are constructors of each data structure, okay, of list also, of tuple also, of set also, and of dictionary also. So now you will see that what is the most use of that constructor and how that constructor plays a very important role, okay, in changing the tuple values. So let's try to change it. So first of all, what we have to do, we have a tuple X with us. So we'll do what? We'll use the list constructor and we'll put X in it. Okay. Now this list constructor is capable of converting any iterable to lists. Okay. So now this tuple X will be converted to a list because we have put inside the list constructor, and that converted list means that converted tuple will be stored in Y. So now Y is a list with same values, with same items, which is in X. Okay, so now what we can do, now we can access the banana. Okay, because banana is present at the position 1, so Y square braces, inside the square braces you will write 1, and then you will change the value to whatever other value you want. Suppose, for example, if you want kiwi, so you will store kiwi in it. Okay, and then again you will take X, and now you will use the tuple constructor and you will put Y in it. Okay, and then you will print X. Then for more surety, you can take the type also, and then you will see that initially we have apple, banana, and cherry. We converted it to a list. Now once we have converted into list, so then this Y is now enabled to perform all the operations of list. So in list is mutable in nature, so we can perform modification in list. So what we did, we just perform modification by accessing the element. We just changed the banana to kiwi, and then again we converted to tuple. Okay, so now this time we converted Y, and we again stored in X, and we printed X. We printed the type of X, and now as you can see, apple, kiwi, cherry, and class is also triple. So in this way you can perform change operation. Okay, Now, with the same situation, you can follow up one more thing. This was we have used the list accessing and then we have changed the element. Now, if you want to add an element, okay, if you want to add an element, so what you can do, you'll simply have to do y dot append, okay, and let's append orange. Let's print it. So now you will see apple, banana, cherry, and orange. Okay. Same approach, you have to convert it to a list, then you can use the list method, and then you can again convert it to a tuple. Then one more way is there. Let's say if you have to add an element, okay, but you don't want to convert to a list. Yes, Ambika, first convert to a list using the list constructor and then we can edit. Yeah, then it will be mutable because list is mutable in nature, and then again convert it to tuple. Okay. Now, uh, Now, what if you want to add the element, okay, or you want to add multiple elements, but you don't want to use the concept of list. You don't want to convert it into a list and then again in table. So then how you will do that? So for that, again, there is one example. So I'll just do what? I'll just take this X tuple, okay, and then what will can do, suppose if we have orange to add, okay. So first of all, we have to create the orange also and tuple, okay. So for converting a single element tuple, we have already learned that how we can convert it. You have to just write the name orange along with comma and put it inside the braces parenthesis, and it will be a single element tuple, okay. Now what we can do, you can add tuple to a tuple, okay. That is you can do, that is what you can do, you can add a tuple to a tuple. Yes, this is allowed. So you are allowed to add tuples to tuples. So if you want to add one item or many, so create a new tuple with the items and add it to the existing tuple. Okay. Yes, that is possible, that you can do. Okay. I hope everyone is getting tuples. Okay. Now, again, if you want to remove the elements from the tuples, so again, you, what you can do, you can convert it to a list, then use the remove methods or pop method of list, and then again convert it to a tuple. That approach you can follow. Or if you don't want to use a list, then you cannot delete any item. So then what you can do? So there is one option available that you can delete the tuple completely. Suppose if you have the tuple X, okay, in which there are three items. So if you want to use list, go ahead, use it, and then convert it to a tuple. But if you want to delete without list, so you cannot delete a specific item in a tuple. But one thing that is allowed is that you can delete the tuple completely. So you can delete the tuple X completely. Yeah, that you can do using the del keyword. So you have to just write del and the name of the tuple, which is X. Okay. And code has been executed successfully. Then you have to just print X to check that if X exists or not. So it will give you a name error, as you can see here, name error, that name X is not defined. Obviously, we have just deleted X because of that. And just for showing you guys, I've just checked it. Okay. So yeah, that this is one thing. Okay. So now this set is also completed, guys. Okay, this set is also completed. So now let's just do what? Let's just now solve some yes and no questions so that we can revise it quickly. Okay, so everyone, please now focus on the screen and reply me with yes and no. Now your question is, can a tuple contain elements of different data types? So guys, your question is, can a tuple contain elements of different data types? Yes or no? Okay, one yes. Okay, yes, yes. So everyone is saying yes, and yes is the correct answer. So yeah, yes. Okay. So guys, your next question is, can you access tuple elements using an index? Yes or no? Okay. So everyone is saying yes. So yeah, yes is the correct answer. Okay, guys, your next question is this proper syntax or code considered a tuple? Is parenthesis inside the parenthesis 5 comma considered a tuple? Yes or no? Yeah, it is a single element tuple. Yes. Okay. Okay. So now tell me about this. Is this a tuple in Python? Okay. No. Yes. Those who are saying no, yes, you guys are correct. Now, your next question is, is tuple indexing one based in Python? Okay. Now carefully answer this question. Okay. Yes or no? Is tuple indexing one based in Python? Okay. One person is saying yes. Okay. Free Fire game. Yes. One Abhishek Kumar is saying no. Okay. Okay, so guys, those who are saying yes, it is incorrect. The real answer is no, it is zero based. Okay. So see, I have in the starting of the class only, I have just told you that indexing starts at zero. Okay. So one based means that is the indexing starts from one. Okay. So those who are saying yes, it is incorrect. Actually, no, it is zero based. Okay. It's okay. Uh, Now, last question for this set. Can a tuple be used as a key in dictionary? Okay, yes. Yeah. Yes, it can be used as a dictionary. So, yes, okay. Yes, bro, we got you that it is yes. Okay. Now let's do what? Let's move to the next. That is, now we'll see tuple operations. Okay. So let's discuss about that. What are the operations that we can perform on a tuple? So till now we have seen accessing, how to convert the elements. Okay, when it is not possible, then also how we can convert it. Okay. Now we'll see all the operations that we can perform on a tuple. So first of all, let's start with checking the length. So to check the length of a tuple, what we can do, uh, let's create a tuple. Let's take a tuple t with values 10, 20, 30, and 40. So this is a tuple. Now, how to check the length? For that, you can use the length function. Okay, so print len and put t. So 4. Total 4 elements are there inside the tuple t. Okay. Then the next operation is concatenation. So that we have already seen, but again, I'll show you concatenation. So let's say if we have a tuple t1 in which we have 1, 2, and then we have a tuple t2 in which we have 3, 4. So concatenating them is basically t3 tuple equals to t1 plus t2, and let's just print t3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this was concatenation. Then the next operation is repetition. Okay, repetition. Now, what is repetition? How you can repeat it? See, suppose we have a tuple T in which we have two items, 1 and 2. Okay. What if we'll multiply, okay, T with 3. Okay. So let's do it inside the print. So you will see that the items, there is only one tuple only. Okay. We have not three tuples. We have only one tuple, but the item inside the tuple is now it is multiplied with 3, and now you will see the items is increased by its original form. Means there was 1 1 2, now there is 3 1 2. Okay, so 3 ones and 3 twos, and sequence is also followed in same. First 1 and then 2 was there, so 1 2 together, then 1 2 and then 1 2, but they are all as a single element. Okay, so this is repetition. Okay, so next thing is membership test. Okay, or membership operation also you can say. Let's check for, suppose if you have a tuple. Okay, or let's take the tuple at that time only. So what we'll check 1 in a tuple 1 2 3. So print function will do what? It is going to check with the membership operator in that 1 is present inside this tuple 1 2 3 or not. If it is, then print function is going to return true. So true, because 1 is present. Yeah, obviously 1 is present. Now let's check for using not in. Okay, so 1 2 3. So this is also giving you true, because as we'll see the change in the operator. Because of the change in the operator, in checks for present, not in checks for that if it is not present. So condition becomes false because 4 is not present inside the tuple. So because of that, this operator is returning true. Okay, I hope you guys have understood. Okay, then there is iteration. Okay, so iteration we can perform using the for loop, and using for loop it is more easy in comparison to other. If you want, you can use a while loop also. Okay, there is no issue, but with the while loop we have to follow the initialization and then the condition and then the incrementation, and for loop is manually designed for iterable only, so directly use this only. Okay, hello everyone, I'm from Vietnam. Hello bro. Okay, now how you'll use iteration for I in 1 2 3, print I, and very simple, just like the list only. Okay, there is no difference. The difference is only is in the creation of a tuple. Okay, and difference is from list. In list we are using square braces, here we are using round braces. We'll see at the end of the class the difference between list and tuple. Okay, when we'll see all the operations, and it will be more easy for us to discuss the difference between the list and tuples, because at that time we'll have seen the list also, and in end of the class we'll see the tuples also, so it will be more easy to just differentiate the difference. Now we have seen iteration and indexing. Okay, indexing is also very important. Now there is one method also called as index, which is present in list also, and which can be used in tuples also, because tuples also support indexing. So because of that, that method is present here. So how to use that method? So I'll just tell you index. And suppose I'll just take the example of one of my lists here. Okay, from here. Now, if I have to know the index value of 10, so then how I can know? So for knowing this, we have to just apply the method index, okay, on our tuple t, and you have to write the value, okay, that what value index you want. So I want the index for 10, so it will return 0. If I want the index value for 30, so it will give me 2. Okay, so again for 40, it will give me 3. So this method you is allowed, is present in tuples. You can use it. Then there is one more method called as count. So you can use this also. So simply you have to just use t dot count, and you have to just write the value whose count you want. Okay, so 10. Now it is giving 1 because 10 is present only one time. What we can do, let's add one more 10, so it will do what? Okay, and now it will be increased by 2. Okay, means it will be increased by 1, so total value is 2 because 10 is present 2 times here. So this is the count operation that is present over here. Okay, uh, now guys, this was the end of this set. Okay, let's move to the next set, that is which is the most important part of tuple, okay, in Python, and this is the most used case of tuples also, that is called as packing and unpacking. And mostly we are going to see unpacking only. Okay, so unpacking in tuple, because packing we have already seen. Packing means how you create a tuple. Okay, so that we already know that how we can create a tuple. You can create a tuple just by using the round braces, put your values inside the round braces and your tuple is created. Or what you can do, you can use the list tuple constructor. So inside the tuple constructor you can put any iterable and that will be converted into a tuple. Okay, so mostly we will see unpacking. So for that, let me do what? Let me just first create a tuple. So I'll create a tuple call as a person, and in this I'll store the name. I'll I'll store the age and store the profession. Okay, and let's print person. So Alice 25 engineer. Okay, this is our tuple. Let's see unpacking. Unpacking a tuple. And how we can do that. First of all, what is unpacking a tuple? Okay, guys, what is unpacking a tuple? Unpacking a tuple means assigning values from a tuple to multiple variables. Okay, if I'll explain you, see, we have a tuple with us in which we have three items: Alice, 25, and engineer. Now this tuple is initialized to a person. What if, and person is what? It is a single value. Okay, it is a single object. What if we want to just convert it, means store Alice in a separate variable name, store 25 in a separate variable age, and store engineer in a separate variable profession, and then print name, age, profession in using different print functions, so that we can get three different values from one tuple. So that is called as unpacking in tuple. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. It's very easy. See, we have a tuple person with us, we are going to use that only. So name, age, just take three variables, okay, dependent on the value. Name, age, profession equals to your tuple person, and then separately print name, and then separately print age, and then print profession. Okay, so now this name is having Alice, age is having 25, and profession is having engineer. So you can work separately in Alice 20, means this name, age, and profession variable. So from one tuple, there were three items in that tuple, and you extracted all the three items in three different variables. That is tuple unpacking. Okay. Okay. Let's take one more example so it will be more clear. So first of all, I'll create a tuple called as fruits. I'll store apple, store banana, and cherry. Let's change this apple to guava. Okay. Now we have to unpack this tuple. So what we will do, we'll just write green based on the colors. Okay, we'll just separately do this. So guavas are yellow in color, bananas are yellow, and cherry is red. Okay, and we'll assign to fruits. Now you can use three print function also, or you can use one print function also. It depends totally on you how you want to print. So I'll just use one print only, and guava, banana, and cherry. Okay, see, I'm printing green, yellow, and red. Now we are getting guava, banana, and cherry because we have successfully stored all these three items in three different variables. So whenever I'm printing these three variables, we are getting guava, banana, and cherry, these three items. Okay, I hope now it is more clear. Okay, now we have seen tuple packing that we already know. Then we have seen tuple unpacking. Now there are multiple ways to unpack a tuple. Okay, this was one way and the simple way. Okay, now then there is one partial unpacking also. Okay, so let's see that also. One partial unpacking. In this we are going to use the asterisk symbol, which is this one. Okay, now let's see how we will use this asterisk symbol. Okay, so let's do what? Let's create a tuple t. In this, let's store 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 values. Okay, and what we are going to do, we will take only three variables. Okay, but there are how many items? There are 5 items, and we are going to take only three variables. So any one variable will be taking three values. Okay, now which variable will do that? That is the main task. So that will be decided by this asterisk. Okay, so now I've taken A, I've taken B, and I've taken C, and I've assigned it to T. Then let's just print A. So now you can see too many values to unpack. Yes, that is correct. There are 5 items and you are using only 3 variables. So then now you have to use the asterisk symbol. So where you have to use it? So let's say we are applying it on B. Okay, so let's see the output first. Okay, so when you are getting this output, so now as you can see, we have applied the asterisk in B. So A is storing 1 and C is storing 5. Means first and last element are stored by A and C. And in the middle one, means in the B, we have applied the asterisk. So because of that, now this asterisk will store three items. Okay. And if you'll notice what is the type of, if you'll print the type of B, so it is a class list. Okay, so when we are applying the asterisk on B, so it is generating a list. So this was partial unpacking with asterisk. Now you can just add this asterisk to A also. So now A will be taking 3. Okay, so now A will be taking 3 elements, 1, 2, 3. Then B will be taking 4 and C will be taking 5. I hope this is clear. If we'll apply the asterisk to C, so now C will be taking the end 3 elements, means last 3 elements. So A will be taking 1, B will be taking 2, and the rest of the elements will be taken by C. So in whichever element you will apply this asterisk, that will be going to take the rest of the elements. Okay, so we have seen asterisk at the middle position, at the beginning, and at the end. So I hope you have understood it, that where you put the asterisk, that is going to take the multiple elements, and when you'll print that element, okay, that variable, so it will be returned in a list. That is also very important thing to remember. Okay, now there is one more type of unpacking, okay, and that is called as unpacking with loops. Okay, so that is also very simple. Okay, so for that um, I'll just need a list of tuples. Okay, so I'll just first take a list, and inside the list I'll store tuples, three tuples. So let's put values inside this tuple. So first value will be name and age. Then again name and age. So name is, then again name and age. So we have with us a list of tuples. Okay, why I'm saying list of tuples? It means there are multiple tuples but inside a list. Okay, so that's why list of tuples. Now, how to print? Okay, or basically you can see how to unpack it. So you will just have to do like this: for name, comma, age in data. Okay, then print. And now for printing, you can use f string also, because you have to print multiple variables. So name is age, years old. Okay, so Alice is 25 years old, Bob is 30 years old, and Charlie is 28 years old. So this is also one way to unpack the tuples. Okay, now let's move to the next thing, that is also unpacking, but unpacking with function arguments. Okay, so this is unpacking with function arguments. So we'll see the concept of function, okay, that will be used here to unpack an element. So I'll just quickly create a method add, and this method is going to add three elements, a, b, c, and will return a plus b plus c. Now at the calling time, what we'll do, we'll create a nums tuple, okay, numbers tuple, and we'll put 1 2 3. Any random number you can take. I'm just taking a simple number 1 2 3 for easy calculations. And then inside the print, we'll call the function, and you'll see I'll use the asterisk to put the nums, and you'll get like this. So we have given a tuple, okay, because what we just needed three parameters here, means three arguments, because we have three parameters in our add function, and our tuple has three items, but it was a tuple, so it was a single thing. So now, as you know that if you'll in the previous example you have seen asterisk, if you'll give asterisk, so that multiple elements will belong to one thing, one value only. Okay, so that we have given here, and because of that our output is 6. So this 1 2 3 is separately going in on ABC, and then addition of ABC is happening, and then we are getting our value 6. So this is also one way of unpacking a tuple using the function arguments. Okay, now the last thing which we'll see in the tuples is that unpacking using nested tuples. So unpacking nested tuples. So let's first take a nested tuple, okay? So nested, and let's take a name, and let's store the age and the profession separately in one another tuple, okay? But inside this tuple only. Now this is a nested tuple. If I'll print this, it will look like same how we have stored this. It will look like that only, okay? Now how to unpack it? So first take one variable, okay, for John, for storing the name. Then, because you have a nested tuple, and inside that nested tuple, you have two items, the age and the profession. So you will take a parenthesis, in that you will take age, and then you will take job or profession, and then you'll apply to nested. Means you'll follow the same structure. Okay, and you'll get the separate values, John 25 and engineer. Okay, this is how you can unpack a nested tuple. And one last thing about tuples are that how to ignore values using underscore. Okay, so we will use underscore to ignore values. I'll show you first what problem and what is the solution of this problem. So there is suppose 1 2 3 4 tuples, and if I'll take 1 comma d equals to t and print a and d, so we'll get a value error, and obviously that value too many values to unpack, because yeah. So now to solve this problem, and suppose we don't want other values, we don't want 2 and 3, we just want the first and the last element or some other element, but we don't want the all of the elements, okay? So we don't need that much variable. So then what we can do? So then there is a concept of underscores then. So what we'll do, we'll use underscores now, then one more underscore, then comma, like this, and then print a comma d. So when you will print a comma d, 1 and 4 will be printed, and this underscores, it will be used to basically skip that certain values, okay, and to skip the error also, okay, to skip the error also and to skip that certain value also, you can use the underscore. Okay, so now I hope this all the unpacking and packing concepts are clear for you guys. Okay, if it is clear, then let's do what? Let's now practice some questions, okay? If it is clear, then let's practice some questions, and it will be programming based questions. Now, no yes and no questions, it will be programming based. So I'll just quickly write the program. X equal to 10, y equals to 20, and z equals to 30, and then pack, okay, print packed. Now, in place of the question mark, guys, you have to reply, okay, that what we have, I have to put it over here, okay. And this is a question of tuple packing. uh, I hope you guys have heard it. uh, what should be there? If you guys don't know, then you can reply with no also. It's not necessary that everyone would know only, okay. So you guys can reply with no also, so that I can give you the correct answer. Or if anyone who knows the answer, just give me the answer in the chat, and I'll just put the same thing here, and we'll try it. Yeah, that's good. Okay, if you don't know, just let me know that also, so we will not be waiting, no. So the class should be class should go on, okay. So yeah, no idea, it's okay. See, it's very easy. It's tuple packing. So if we have x, y, z, three different elements, so how we are doing the unpacking? If we have suppose 10, 20, 30 inside a parenthesis, then how would be that? Then how you will unpack it? You will take three different elements x, y, z. So same thing you will do it over here also. What you will do? You will just take a parenthesis, you will put x, y, and z, and it is a tuple now. Okay, it's very simple. Now I hope for the next time you will be remembering it. Okay. Okay. So let's move to the next way. That is next question. Okay. Now, in place of this question mark, what would be there? This is the question of basic unpacking. Now, this is very simple. You guys must reply this one. Yeah, Free Fire game T. Very good. T is the correct one. So you'll give T and language Python, okay? And then you can print version, status, everything. Okay. Now we have seen the for loop to iterate on a tuple. Let's see the while loop also. Now again everything will be same, just like the list. Okay, is yeah Tijani T? Yes, you're correct. So let's take use the while loop to iterate over the tuple. Okay, and let's see how we can do that. So for that we have to use two functions, or primarily one function, that is the length function. Okay, so suppose if we have the tuple T only, let's take the tuple T. Okay, and we have to iterate over that. So first of all we have to initialize I with 0. Okay, then while I less than length of T, and print T I, and then increment I by 1 each time. So plus equals 1, Python 3.11 and stable. Okay, so this is how you can use while loop to iterate over the tuples. It's very easy. Okay, now guys, tell me one thing. Now I can see that everything about tuple we have studied. If you want to solve questions on tuples, okay, or you want me to go to the next topic, okay, I'll just leave it to you guys only. What you will say, will follow that. So if you want to solve or practice more questions on packing, unpacking, okay, so we can do that also. Or if you want to move me to next topic, so we can do that also. Guys, do let me know what you want to do. According to that we'll follow. Okay, we'll go forward. If you want to practice more questions on tuples, we can do that. If you want to move me to next topic, so we can do that also. Okay. Okay, more questions on tuple, practice questions. Okay, so let's try solving more questions on tuples. Okay, so let's see one example of tuple unpacking with functions. Okay, so we have already seen it. Let's see one more time. So I'll just we have a function with us, dev greet name and age. Okay, so hello name, you are this years old. Okay, now we have the function with us, and we want our output means we have info. We have a tuple with us in which we are stored a name and the age. Now tell me, how would I call the function? Okay, and the tuple unpacking with functions concept is going to be used here. How I will put this info tuple inside the function call using what? Do reply, guys. If you don't know, then just reply with no, so we can move ahead. Okay, there is no problem if you don't know anything. Okay, everyone not knows everything. So for Python, I am there. So if you don't know, just let me know. Yeah, one person and came ahead. Uh, Bhagyaraj Patil. It's he's saying that we'll directly write greet. Okay, and Alice and 22. Yeah, see that we can do. You are correct. But my question was that how I'll put this info tuple. Okay, because inside the info tuple we have already the name and age with us as an items. So how I can use the info tuple inside that greet function? That that we want to do. Okay, you are directly calling the function, that will work. Okay, exact energy, print greet info. Yes, print greet info, but there is one thing missing, that is the asterisk sign. Okay, so you have to do like this: print greet info, and then the asterisk symbol. So hello Alice, you are 22 years old. Okay, so yeah, okay, almost correct. So good, you tried. Okay, okay. Now, guys, one more thing is there, that if we have a nested tuple with us, so let's say we have a nested tuple 1 comma 2, and then we have one more tuple 3 comma 4. And now if we have to access a single element, okay, 3, if you have to access the single element 3, then how we are going to access it? Okay, because it is a nested tuple, so we cannot directly write, it is not like that at 0 1 is present, at 1 2 is present, or at 2 3 is present. No, it's not like that. So there is one tuple, inside that tuple there is two child tuples. Okay, think like that. And in every child tuple the indexing is starting from 0 only. Okay, so 1 is also present at 0 and 3 is also present at 0 only. So how we can access it? So we have to remember one thing, that there is one parent tuple, and inside that parent tuple there are two child tuples. Okay, so that parent tuple will also have indexing in it. Okay, so who's going to be, means if I'll write 0 here, okay, if I'm going to write only 0, so then what value is going to be printed? So the first tuple is going to be printed, that is 1 and 2. So if I have to print something inside 1 and 2, suppose if I have to print 2, so I'll take one more square braces and I'll write 1 over here. So then I'll get 2. Okay. So what if I want to print 3? So I'll do 1 over here and 0 over here. So then I'll get 3. Okay. So this is also very important thing, that how you'll access element in nested tuple. Okay. And single elements. So I hope you have understood now. Now there are few more functions. Okay. Uh, which can be used inside tuples, and they are built-in functions. They are not methods, they are function itself. Okay, so those functions are: length is one of the functions that we have seen. Then there is max and minimum. So suppose if we have a tuple t, so we have a tuple with us. Now if we have to print the maximum, what we can do, we can use the max function. Okay, and we can put our tuple inside it, so it will directly going to give you the maximum value. So if we have minimum, so for minimum also there is a function called as min. You have to just put t in it and you will get the minimum. Okay, minimum element from that. Then there is one more function. Then there is one more function which is called as sum. So if you want to sum all the elements inside the tuple, so you have to just use the sum, which is the built-in function of Python, and it will do the sum of all the items present inside the list. But one more thing which you have to keep it in notice is that this sum will work if all the elements are number only. Okay, then only it will work. And same goes with max and min also. It will work on, max and min will work on numerical values, or alphabetical values, means it will work on string values and numbers both. Okay. So if you want to apply max and min on a numerical value, means on alphabetical value. So let's say we have a tuple called as scarce. Okay, let me use some of, okay, let's me use from here only. Yeah. So if you have to use max and min, okay. So stable has, actually stable and Python both has, but because at the end there is stable only, so that's why it is printing stable. And in the minimal we'll get 3.11. So this is how max and min will work on alphabetical values. Then some we have already seen. Then there is one value called as sorted. Okay, there is one function called as sorted. So let's see that function. So let's apply it on this t. So if you have to sort your tuple, okay, so then you can use this sorted function. And inside this sorted function, what you have to do, you have to just put your tuple name, okay, and then it will be sorted. Now, one more thing to notice is that it, when you'll do the sorted and you'll put the tuple inside it, it will sort it, but it will return a list. It is not going to return a tuple. So you can see the square braces over here. If you will see the type also, then also it is going to, it is will be a list only. So it returns a list, not a tuple. So remember that thing. Okay. Then there are two more functions. Okay. One is all and another one is any. Okay. Now they both have different use cases. So let me first explain you about all. Yeah. I I guess that there it will be new to most of you. Okay. Yeah, it is very less used function, but in most, if you'll go little bit in advanced topic of Python, then these functions are very useful. Okay. And let me tell you the use of all. Okay. So this use of all is that it returns true if all values are truth. Okay, if all values are true, okay, if all values are true, then so let's say we have t1 in which we are storing true, we are storing 1, we are storing 5. Okay, then we have t2, and in t2 also we are going to store true, 0 and 3. Okay, let's do what, let's print all. Let's put in one, let's put t1, and in another let's put t2. Okay, so one is giving us true, first one t1 is giving us true and t2 is giving us false. Now why is this so, let's see it. So in t1, as you will notice, the values are true, so true is a boolean value and it is obviously true only. Now 1 and 5 are also integer values and they are greater than 0, and all positive values greater than 0 indicates true only. Okay, so because of that they are true. In T2 example, there is true, there is 3, but there is 0 also. And 0 indicates in Boolean numbers, in Boolean, okay, it it says that it is false. Okay, so 0 means false, 1 means true. Or not only 1 means true, means all the positive numbers greater than 0, it means true only. But for 0, it is false. Okay, so that's because of that this t2 is giving us false because there is one false value, that is 0. Okay, so all function returns true if all values are true. Okay, then only. Now same thing goes with any, but little bit different. In any, whenever we use any function, it returns true if any value is truthy. Okay, so let's say we have t1, and in t1 we'll store 0, we'll store false, and we'll store none. Then we have t2. In t2 we'll store 0, we'll store false, and we'll store 3. So now you can see false and true. Now, why for T1 it is false and for T2 it is true? Because in T1, if you'll see, there is 0 that indicates false. Then there is false Boolean value that is also indicates false. And then there is none. None also indicates false only. Okay. So these all are falsy. Okay. All are falsy. Because of that, our whole output for T1 is false. Now in T2, 0 is indicates false, false also indicates false, but 3 is a positive value. And as you know, any returns true if any value inside your iterable is true. So one value we got true, so it is giving us true. Okay. Then there is our enumerate function that we already know that it it returns the index value pairs. Okay. So how to use it? It's very simple. Just like uh, let's create T. Okay. So for I and V, I stands for index and V for value. In enumerate T, print I colon V. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3. Same as list, how we are using it in list, we have to use it over here also. Okay. Okay. Now guys, let's do that. Let's do the uh, comparison between list and tuple. So okay. Now this is the difference between list and tuple in Python. Let's see this. On the basis of syntax, if we'll talk about syntax, on the basis of syntax, then In list, we use the square brackets. In tuple, you use the parentheses, which is also called as the round braces. Okay. Okay. Then in the base of mutability, list is mutable in nature. Mutable means we can change it. Tuples are immutable. It means we cannot change it. Okay. Methods available. So in list, there are many methods available. And there is one more reason for this, because it is mutable in nature, so we can modify it. So because we can modify it, so there are more methods, just like append, pop, remove, extend, okay, insert. So there are many more methods available in list. In tuple there are fewer methods. There is no method like append and all. Okay, there are Python built-in functions just like length, max, min, which can be used on list also, that you can use on tuple. There is only two methods, index and count, which are used, which are present in tuple. Okay, so yeah. Now this is the important part. Based on the performance, the difference based on the performance is that lists are slower. Okay, in comparison to tuples. Why? Because there is a very big reason, and that reason is that will again move to the mutability only, that lists are mutable in nature. So because of that, we have to perform many modifications in list. Okay, many modifications we have to perform. So because of that, the performance of list becomes bit slower. Okay, in tuples, because not it is immutable in nature, so because of that it is very faster. So tuple packing, unpacking, accessing elements in tuples, okay, that becomes very faster in comparison to list. Okay, if we'll talk about memory wise, so again, list are list consumes more memory, because same thing, mutability. Tuples take less memory because immutable in nature. Okay, iteration speed, uh, lists are slightly slower because the performance only it is slower, so iteration speed is also slower in list and faster in tuples. Now guys, you will say that if you have 5 items in a list and 5 items in a tuple, and you will use loop on both, okay, so then it will be not seen with your naked eyes, that you means how the performance, okay, what's the performance, you will, it will seem same. But if you'll have a very large list or a very large tuple, then the difference will be clearly visible. Okay, so I'm talking about a very large data set of list, or of a tuple. So yeah, then now very important thing, can list be a dictionary key? No, because it is not hashable. But yes, tuples can be, if all elements are immutable. Okay, and if they are not duplicate, then also. Now use cases for list is that it is a dynamic data set, so it can be used with stacks and queues. Okay, so whenever we will move to the next topic, that is, now we are seeing built-in data structures. When we'll move to user-defined data structures, so in that there is a topic called as stack and queue, how you can create your own stacks and queues. So then you the concept of list will come. Okay, but in tuples, if you'll see the use cases of tuples, so there is, for coordinates, as you know that for a coordinate there is x and y value. Okay, and they are fixed, they are not changeable. Once a coordinate is means set, it is set. Okay, then for that purpose, then for configuration purpose, you can use a tuple. Examples, as you can see, there is one example of list, my underscore list equals to 123, and there is example for tuple, my underscore tuple equals to 123. Okay, so I hope now it is more clear for you guys to differentiate between list and tuple. But the big question is that when to use what. Okay, when to use what, when to use list and when to use a tuple. See, I'll tell you, uh, use list only when you need to. Okay, first let me just give you, use list when when first you want, if you need to add or remove, or if in simple languages say modify the elements. If you feel that what you have created, in which you in future you will need to add, remove, or modify elements, if you feel that, then go for list. Okay. Second, if data, whatever your data is, suppose you have a data of people or of anything, if you think that the data will need change over time, will need to change it over time, so then go for a list. Okay. So I'll just give that changing over time, or let me add when data is changing over time. So then use a list. When to use a tuple? So use tuple when data should be, when data is constant, it's not going to be changed. So when the data is constant, then use tuple. Okay, next thing, when you want performance and memory efficiency, because as we have seen in the difference, performance is faster in tuples and memory is less used in tuples. Okay, so when you want both, so when you want performance and memory efficiency, so then go for tuples. Okay, then the third one is why to use tuple. When you want to use the sequence as a dictionary key, means if you think that you want to use your tuple sequence as a dictionary key, so then you can go for it. Okay, we'll see when when we will move to dictionary data structure, then we'll see that how we can create a tuple. Okay, and then how we can store a tuple as a key in a dictionary. That we'll see in the dictionary when we'll see dictionary at that time. Yeah. Okay, unknown is saying great styles. Thank you, bro. Okay. Now, guys, we have seen everything in tuples. Okay, tuples is this much only. Now, it's time for ending the set and let's practice some yes and no questions. Okay, so do reply. Your question is, can you slice a tuple like a list? Yes. Okay. Okay, so Bhagyaraj Patel is saying yes. Okay. Okay. Unknown is saying yes, maybe. Okay. Yes, yes. Okay. So yeah, correct one. Let's move to the next question. Is tuple a built-in Python function? Yes or no? Okay, one has replied yes. Okay. Okay, guys, your next question is, are tuples faster to access than lists? Okay. Okay, guys. Let's keep this much only for today. Uh, that was all about the tuples. Okay, and the next time when we'll come in the live, we'll start with a new topic, that is Python sets. So thanks for joining the live session, and I hope you have learned something about Python. Okay, and it was great interacting with you guys. Okay, you guys are very supportive. Thank you. Okay, then just do try to practice. Okay, try to practice whatever you're learning in the live session. Just go and practice it at home. Okay, so then it will be more helpful for you guys, because if you'll practice with your own, then you will face problems. Okay, and when you solve that problems, or when you go and search for that problem, then that problem you'll get to know more about it. Okay, so that is the thing. So yeah, keep it up, guys. Stay tuned up. We'll see you in the next live session. Okay, till then, bye. Thank you. And if you want to practice more questions, so you can go to one website, clcoding.com. Okay, I'll just ping this. Okay, now in this website there are many challenges going. Okay, 500 days challenge for Python coding. Okay, and if you want to learn Python also, so then there are very web pages created for each topic, and there are many multiple programs for Python, so you can go and check out this website. Okay, So it will more help you. Okay, it is going to help you more. Okay guys, thank you. uh yeah, thanks, bye.